Hello everyone, and welcome to this special Beyond the Point TV video. We are here today at the VIP Dr. Feelgood exhibition. We're at the Canby Club now, and due to start very soon. We've got just 20 minutes. It's not the warmest out here, it's quite windy. Liam didn't bring a shirt, so he's shivering. And he doesn't have his own socks on, so disappointing today. But yeah, it's been a really good night. We're going to get pictures of you, we're going to film, hopefully get an interview with you, and we'll catch up with you when we're in there. Okay, so we're here today with our special guest, Alan Taylor, and he's just going to give us a little bit of information on Dr. Feelgood. So welcome, and
thank you. Difficult for me to say really, but no. Dr. Feelgood, I have loved the Dr. Feelgood band for as long as I can remember that I was liking music. I saw them in Glasgow in 1975. This is 2013, and I'm going to see them tomorrow night. Basically, although I came to Canby Island for a job, one of the reasons that I came here is so that I could drive on the island, because this is where one of my favourite bands came from. That was 24 years ago. I have all of their albums, every single one, and a few other bits and bobs. And to me, they are simply brilliant.
So would you say Dr. Feelgood encouraged you to come to Canby? Or influenced it?
Influenced is the right word, Joe. Absolutely. They influenced me because when in 1989 a job came up on Canby Island, believe it or not, I did drive on the island for the first time ever, and I was playing a Dr. Feelgood CD in the car, because that's the type of guy I am. But yes, they definitely influenced me to come to Canby.
Do you have a favourite?
Do you have a favourite feel-good song? Oh my lord. I Can Tell from the first album, Down by the Jetty. No, I don't have a favourite song. I have about 20 favourite songs, and it would be too boring for me to get through them all. There's so many brilliant songs.
Do you have a band member that you prefer?
These are difficult questions. I suppose nostalgic would be Wilco in the beginning, but I think Brillo is the main man. He was the main man, really, with all due respect. And unfortunately, he died 20 years ago, and I still go to the memorial gigs for him. In fact, once my brother even flew down from Glasgow because I got him a ticket just to go to that concert.
So a true fan that we have here today with us.
Absolutely.
So are you liking it here, for the memorabilia and all that?
Well, this is the first time I've actually been inside the Canby Club as well. I have seen it on the movie, Oil City Confidential. And it's just, I am a man for memorabilia. I have my own different concert tickets. I keep a list of all the concerts that I go to. And this is just fantastic because there's stuff in here that I remember seeing in the music press, and there's posters here from as far as France, Finland. It's just fantastic. It is just truly a world famous band, and to come from such a small area, I think that's the appeal, because the bottom line is the four guys that made up Dr. Feelgood could be anybody. They were just like the guys who are your neighbours who live on Canby, but they just had a talent, a bit of luck, and some fantastic songs. And the fact that Chris Fenwick has said tonight that it's 40 years, one, is fantastic, and two, makes me feel old. Because if they've been going for 40 years, I first saw them when I was 15, that makes me 55.
Well, just for Beyond the Point TV, he does not look 55.
Yeah, top lad. And I've given him money to say that.
Yes, he has. Thank you.
You're welcome.
My name's Kevin Morris. I'm the drummer in the band for the last 30 years, and I was at school with Lee, so I knew the singer from when I was 12 and played in an embryonic version of the group called the Wild Bunch. And then we kind of lost touch for a few years and got back together, and I joined the group in 1983.
Do you have a particular best memory of the band?
We have many memories, some of which I probably shouldn't talk about, but it's always been a fun band. We don't take ourselves too seriously. We're serious about the job. We're serious about entertaining people and putting on a performance, but at the same time, we're not too serious about, the important thing is for everybody to have a good time on and off the stage, and that's always been the group's philosophy. So even when everyone's being quite moody, it's just a bit of pretend, really,
Were you sort of surprised of the success of the group? Because obviously you started off quite small.
Well, what surprised me was when I was a couple of years younger than the other guys. They'd already left school and had jobs. And when I left, I went straight into another band playing professionally because they had no aspiration to be a professional band. They just played locally at the roller skating rink on Pier Hill and pubs and clubs. And so what my surprise was when I came back to Southend from touring in Europe with another band was that they had, become a professional act. They'd chucked their jobs in, they'd got a record deal, and I met them in the local music shop and was delighted that it was happening. And I went to see them and was knocked out by the rapport between Lee and Wilco. It was a really interesting sort of two-pronged attack. So, that was my shock really, that they'd actually done it. But I mean, when I saw the band, I could see why there was so much interest, because it was very different from what else was going on at the time. And it's always, when you see an act in any kind of period that just jumps out from the crowd. I mean, a recent example would probably be something like the White Stripes. It was a boy and a girl, just the two of them, but they made a certain sound, and it was, in its own way, quite unique,
Would you have expected it to still be this popular 30, 40 years on?
No, because when I was about 18, anybody who was 25 was positively ancient. So the idea that anybody would be doing what we do, but it's all moved on. I mean, if you look at sort of jazz and blues artists, they carry on playing until they drop. And I think that the sort of rock guys are heading in a similar direction. The Stones are still gigging. Unbelievably, some of them are still alive,
Okay, so joined here with Phil Mitchell, who's from the original band. If you could just introduce yourself, please.
Yeah, Phil Mitchell, Dr. Feelgood for the last 30 years.
Do you have a particular memory that stands out?
Not one particular memory. Every day's got a new memory, and over that amount of time, you can see from all the pictures and everything around here. There's lots of memories. A few of which are coming back to me, looking at the posters and the pictures. But no, nothing in particular really. Just quite a lot of good times though.
Because the band started off quite small, were you surprised how big it got?
Well, it's difficult to know what makes a band get big. It's a bit of a chemical reaction, really. You get the right people in, and it either happens or it doesn't. I mean, Dr. Feelgood are just sort of lucky to be in the right place at the right time, in the right gigs. With the kind of the music scene was changing then. It was, and they were just something new, really, at the time. something new, but playing old style music.
So looking back, would the band have changed anything, do you think? Do you think you'd done anything differently?
Not really. I mean, we play music we like playing. We're lucky enough to be still going, you know, even though, you know, obviously some of the members are, you know, gone by the way, but not really. I mean, everyone makes mistakes along the way, but you can't change that. You can't change what's already happened.
Are you surprised that the band is still going today?
Yes. When I started playing in the band, I didn't think it would last. I remember thinking when I joined the band, I was thinking, oh, this might be all right for 2 years. And this is 30 years later, so you know. And if you said to me, is it going to still be going in 10 years' time? I think probably not, but it probably will be if we're all still standing then.
So does it bring back a lot of memories then, looking at all the different memorabilia here?
Yeah, yeah, definitely, yeah. I mean, it's quite surprising how much of it there is actually, you know, because all of us have kind of contributed bits of stuff that we've collected over the years and given it to Chris, and newspaper cuttings and posters and stuff, as you see. But then now it's all together in one place. It's you know, it's quite a lot.
I suppose sort of some things you wouldn't have thought really wow at the time, but now you sort of realise.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, playing in a band, on the one hand, you know, it's how we make our living. So it's also a job, you know. And sometimes you go to work every day, you do the gig, you go home, you go to the next one, and it's only really after the event when you look at this, you think, blimey, we did all this. So, but at the time that it's happening, you're not really thinking about it too much. You just, you know, just playing the music, hoping that the people enjoy it, and hoping that they come back another time. Unfortunately for us, we play the music, they do enjoy it, and they do come back. That's why we're still here.
In general, would you say that local history is important?
Local history? Well, for a band like Dr. Feelgood it is, you know, I mean, it's sort of the Canvey Island thing, you know. I mean, if you mention the word Canvey Island anywhere in the world, people usually go, Dr. Feelgood.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, local history is important, you know. Like you mentioned the Beatles and people say Liverpool. You know, I mean, bands and towns get linked together. Talk about Oasis, everyone says Manchester, don't they? You know, it's just the way it is. It helps put things on the map. The town can put the band on the map, and the band can put the town on the map. You know, It works both ways. Yeah.
Thanks for letting us interview then.
Oh, that's okay. No problem.
How big is Dr. Feelgood in Holland?
How big? They don't come very often, but this year they come 3 times. So we go one.
In Holland, the history of Dr. Feelgood in Holland is not so big. I don't know why. The people is terrible.
No, we're not Dutch, not very terrible, but that is not that they don't pick it up, you know. It's more like in Germany. But we saw the doctors the first time in '84, and that was wow, we want to see more. But then we could buy records in Holland. The first record we bought from Dr. Feelgood was in Gran Canaria, off the Canary Islands. that was very strange to buy it there.
But in Holland, they never have a hit in Holland. They never come in the charts in Holland. Ones with Milk and Alcohol, number 39, top 40. But they don't know Dr. Feelgood. But if they come to Holland, there's always a lot of people now.
How did you hear of the band?
Sorry?
How did we hear of the band? It was the first time we saw the gig over there. We saw the Dutch Charts there over there in Holland in '84. That was the first time we saw them. That's nice. Yeah.
Do you have a particular favourite band member or song?
Tomorrow we have the Lee Brillo, the memorial. Yeah, every year.
Every year. Yeah. Well, for 30 times I've been there in the Oyster Fleet. You see the Lee Brillo Memorial, and it's always very nice.
It's a reunion. You saw all familiar people. Oh, we saw them last year. Hi, how are you? Yeah.
We see many people here. We see it every year. And she comes from Finland, from Sweden,
France,
Holland, France. No, there are.
Yeah.
Before we go into here, there was two people from France. Last year, the man was sick, very sick, and now he's back. Mr. Rennie and every people.
Yeah, it's nice. Yeah.
It's very nice to be here.
Do you like the film?
Yeah.
And we have at home satellite. Where we can use BBC 1, 2, 3, 4, ITV, and so we can see the film.
Yeah, that was nice.
Very nice, yes. But we are fans of Dr. Feelgood. Everything about Dr. Feelgood, we like it. That's we are fans.
It's absolutely love it here tonight.
Yeah. And tomorrow.
And tomorrow.
And Saturday in the Half Moon Pub in London.
Saturday, Half Moon Pub, Dr. Feelgood. Fully concert.
Yes, nice.
Thanks.
That's good. 2 months younger than John Martin, the original drummer. I must have gone to school with them, but I can't remember them. Although Wilco went to, he passed the 11 plus, I didn't pass 11 plus. I went to secondary modern and Wilco went to Westcliff, didn't he? Westcliff.
Do you have a favourite band member?
Now, I think Phil Mitchell's the best one now.
Yeah.
It's just the old grey-haired one. He's the best one now. But the band now is much more professional than the original band. As much as we love the originals, the new band are more professional.
So do you prefer
Have you heard them? Have you heard the new band?
No, I think just the old ones.
The new band are more tighter musically, you know.
Do you have a favourite song by them?
No, all of them. No, all of them, they're all good.
Yeah.